Hey y'all, it's Grizz here at Windmill Farm, North Mississippi. I'm getting ready to go to Missouri to teach a class up there about making salves, and I realized out of all the stuff I've been teaching y'all in the past, I never taught you how to make salves. But before I can show you the salves, we're gonna have to show you how to make infused oils, all right? So y'all come along with me. I'm gonna show you how to do the infused oils, then we'll do a salve, and we'll go from there, all right? All right, y'all. When you're doing your infused oils, your carrier oil can be olive oil, it can be sweet almond oil, it can be coconut oil. There's depending on what you're going to make your salve, you can come up with a array of oils to use. I use olive oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, because those are three very easily to get a hold of oils, and they're very good for the skin. Okay. Right now what we're fixing to do is we're going to do the hot method, which is a way of doing it on the stove within about an hour. The other way to do is what's called cold processing, which is where you just put, like what I've gotten here is I've got dandelion flowers. Okay, some I've collected out of the pasture, and I've let them wilt a little bit. Now, to do the cold process, they must be dried. So these would have had to been put in a dehydrator or put in a screen and put out in the sun. You would have had to dry them in one way or another, because you cannot have any moisture in your stuff when you're doing it cold process, because if you do, it can make the oil go rancid. But when you're doing it like this, it's because it will heat up. It heats up to the point that it gets the moisture to leave. So this is, especially if you just let the stuff, like I let this wilt for a couple of days. If you let it wilt, it dries out a little bit anyway, to the point that you can use it, and then you're not going to have a problem. I'm going to use olive oil with these dandelions. We're going to get it cooking on this double boiler, and we're going to let it simmer for an hour. All right. Alrighty. Could kind of give you proportions. This was full. This is a small sherbet bowl full of fresh dandelion. Like I said, I let it wilt for a couple of days. Now I'm going to pour in 2 cups of carrier oil. And this is just plain olive oil here, okay? Now all I'm gonna do is bring the temperature up. When I start seeing a little bit of heat and steam coming through my oil, I'm gonna turn the temperature down here, and we're gonna let it steep basically for around an hour, okay? Alrighty, if you can notice, I'm starting to have little small bubbles come up from time to time in here. That tells me that this oil is now getting to the temperature that I need it to. See, there's some bubbles on that backside, some bubbles here. Now that it's gotten up to the temperature that I need it to, where it's going to extract what I need to out of the dandelions, I'm going to cut it all the way down to low. See the steam? That means we're going to let it just steep. You notice I got the flame barely on the bottom down there. Matter of fact, we could probably bring it back just a little bit more. So right there. All I'm going to do is keep heat in it for the next hour. It's 9:15 now at night, so we're going to do this until 10:15, all right? Alrighty, y'all. We went ahead and let it steep a little bit longer, just because I wanted to make sure that I got a good batch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of the double boiler. I've got a metal strainer. I put a coffee filter on it. What I do is put it in there, and I just let it pour through the bottom as it needs to. I can squeeze that to get everything out of the dandelion petals and flowers as I possibly can. And then we'll continue until we got it all completely strained through, all right? Alrighty, as y'all can see, We have oil, needs to be strained one more time. That takes time to soak through, but you'll see that needs to be strained one more time. I know a lot of folks that just use it like this because it's really it's not affecting anything, but I like to have it clean and clear. But we'll try it one more time, y'all. All right, y'all seen us make the infused oil of the dandelions. Now I've gotten, let me turn this back down. My 1 ounce of beeswax is in here. It's melted. Now that it's melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of my dandelion infused oil. Okay. Now, when you put that cold oil in there to that warm beeswax, sometimes it makes the beeswax kind of congeal a little bit. We've already got it on the heat. Just keep stirring it. It will dissolve back out. Now, do yourself a favor and always have your thermometer. Don't guess, because if you put your oils in here, your essential oils in here when it is too warm, you basically burn them off. You don't get the benefit of the essential oils, nor do you get the smell from it. So we want our high end of our temperature to only be like 138, 142. I like it a little bit lower than that, but you can go up to that. All right, as you've seen, I've taken my double boiler out of the water so I can bring my temperature down. Temperature's like down to 140. So what we're gonna do now, most of my salves, I put a vitamin E, just good for the skin. For this recipe, I only put 3 drops. Now, you can put whatever scent you want into them, because really and truly, most of your salves, until you put an essential oil in, sometimes they have an earthy smell, sometimes they have a little bit of a floral smell, but no, they don't really have much. I like putting stuff in that only smells good, but it's good for you. I'm gonna put 6 drops of orange. And then we're gonna put 6 drops of lavender in. Come on. Alrighty. It had kind of got airlocked there for a second. Alrighty. Once you do that, you want to make sure you whisk it up real good. That's to get all of them essential oils mixed together so you don't have no pockets of it. Okay. Now, since the temperature is coming down, you need to get this stuff poured in your tins. Alright, get your tins ready. Normally this size right here only make between 4 and 6 tins, depending on how much you put in each tin. I have something under it because invariably I sometimes get it everywhere. So and you don't have to worry about getting too hot. When the heat's taken off of that there, normally the heat's down enough that when you put this on there, you're not going to heat it up to the point of losing your essential oil, okay? Now, once you get them in your tins, you just let your tins cool. Label them, always label. Have your labels made out so that you know exactly what these are. Put your lids on, store them in a cool, dark place. They'll stay good for a year. That vitamin E is not only good for the skin, but it kind of also preserves that a little bit too, okay? So y'all, I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Hope y'all learned something. If y'all want to know something, ask me. If it's something I already know and I have forgot to show you, kind of like this here, I'll make a video. So y'all ask away in the comments. I love answering everybody in the comments. So y'all, I've had a blessed day. And as always, be safe.